Last August, we went to France for a different kind of cruising. It was a magic experience. Our friends, Paul and Susan Mitchell, have a 15-meter canal barge named Gulliver. We got to know Paul and Susan while we were both sailing around in Malaysia. We eagerly leapt at Paul and Susan's gracious invitation to join them aboard their boat and cruise with them on the canals of France. Not long after arrival, we made our way under a low bridge along the Nivernais Canal to a flower-filled park where we tied to the side of the canal for the night. This put us in good position for a visit to the wine caves at Bailly-la-Pierre the next day, with tastings of their delicious Cremant wine, of course. The caves, now said to house some 5 million bottles of wine, are actually abandoned stone quarries. They used to cut the stone here for great buildings in Paris. Now it's artists who do the cutting, creating beautiful bas-relief works of sculpture featuring local themes. The narrow Nivernais Canal has hand-operated locks. After you maneuver yourself inside, the lock gates are closed and you are either lifted up or dropped down into the next water level. It is a courteous thing to go and help the lock keeper with the opening and the closing of the lock gates. Besides, it's good exercise. The canals are quiet, and they present delightful landscapes of rural France. The bicycle paths were busy with summertime use. We glided by stately homes and browsing horses. There were centuries-old lock-keeper houses along our way, and we were captivated by brilliant backyard gardens. Sometimes it was a matter of tying up to the bank and having your lunch while you wait for the afternoon lock opening schedule. Ah, French bread, cheeses, pâté, salad and wine. Gulliver was a daily gourmet treat, with a little something left over for swans, of course. Maybe it was a good thing that these were hand-operated locks after all, something to work off the wonderful meals. It was interesting to see the backside of the more major locks, the dams that held the water in the different levels. But mostly it meant traversing calm waters through fields and through forests with an occasional fisherman to greet. Most of the towns on along our canal journey were very interesting for us to visit. In Auxerre, Susan and I were off on a quest, with the historic streets and buildings making it seem more like a field trip. The cathedral in Auxerre was awesomely beautiful, with wonderful architecture and brilliant stained glass windows, as well as quiet spots candlelit for reverence. Paul's quest was to find a relaxing spot for afternoon refreshments, while Susan and I hit the patisserie for bread and dessert goodies.
What'd you get, Matt?
We got a bread.
All right.
Now to find that quiet spot along the canal banks to enjoy all those goodies. Welcome aboard Gulliver for happy hour.
So, won't you come aboard for a drink?
Yeah, I believe I will. Thank you very much.
Careful the nettles when you go by.
And you can't walk out that door.
Okay, I'll just go over and
Come
sit
over
on
here
the other
and-
side.
Stop and have a rum. The discussions about where to go tomorrow put us in Joigny, another hillside town with narrow winding cobblestone streets leading us through the ancient gates to the Saturday market. The market had fantastic displays of fruits and veggies, of cheeses and breads and fish and flowers. We got up into trying and buying new hats.
Hey, how about that?
The cathedral at Sens was one of the first of France's great Gothic cathedrals, with vaulted ceilings, sunlit stained glass windows, treasured paintings, and courtyard gardens, as well as interesting museum housing vestments and relics from the 15th to the 19th century. In the basement housed archaeological remains from Roman times. We put our market purchases to good use that evening. Paul opens the wine. Now, if the red doesn't suit you, why, we'll just open a white. Either one was had with a fine selection of snacks. And I think the swans must have passed the word along to look out for Gulliver. They were waiting our crumbs, which even they were delicious. There was commercial traffic on the canals and rivers as we traveled along. Most of the time we could share a lock through with one of the barges, so not have to wait a long time to go alone. It always seemed to be a tight squeeze, but really wasn't. However, it was certainly intimidating to meet them head-on in one of the narrow canals. Oh hum, another gorgeous day, passing through multiple bridges. Oh hum, another wait at a lock for a big guy to go with us. We were with Paul and Susan for 11 days. Our longest passage was 42 kilometers and the shortest only 10. Some days we did just 2 or 3 locks, and once we did 12. Did I say ho hum? Well, nothing of the sort if you are canal cruising with Paul and Susan. Eating again? Alas, this was our last breakfast, and it starred Paul's famous fluffy pancakes. Cruising on the French canals aboard Gulliver with Susan and Paul will always bring up a varied kaleidoscope of fond memories. Thank you so much, Gulliver. And thank you big bunches, Susan and Paul.